Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to look at how to short stock in Etrade. How to short stock in Etrade. If you know what shorting stock is, then ignore or just skip the next minute. But when you short stock, what you do is you borrow the stock and sell it immediately for an immediate gain. And then you buy the stock back later. Hopefully, the stock has fallen. So let's look at an example. Let's go to interactive Yahoo charts. And let's look at Yahoo because I believe Yahoo has fallen. Yeah. So let's say back here in February or in January, you shorted Yahoo. What that means is you bought Yahoo when it was trading at $44 and you sold it immediately. Okay? So maybe you shorted one share and got $44 in your account, or maybe you shorted 100 shares and got $4,400 in your account. In either case, you get the money in your account, but you need a margin account to do so because you're borrowing the stock from someone, from the broker, for example. Then you're selling the stock and you're hoping that the stock falls all the way down here, and then you buy it back and give it back to whoever you borrowed it from. Okay, so just imagine you borrow a car and then you give it back later, but the person you borrowed it from doesn't know what you did with the car. So you borrowed the car and you sold it for a nice $20,000, and then you bought the car back a year later for $15,000, and you gave it back to your friend who let you borrow it. Now your friend isn't the wiser. He doesn't know what happened, but you know that you made $5,000 on that trade. You borrowed a car, sold it for $20,000, bought it back for $15,000, gave it back to your friend. Now, of course, a car depreciates in value, but a stock doesn't. A stock is a stock. So when you give it back, the broker doesn't know that it's different stock. Get the idea? Okay. Anyway, even if you don't get the idea, if you're at this video, I'm assuming you want to short a stock. So I'm going to show you how to do it. And it's basically, in E-Trade, it's the same as buying a stock. Go up to trade. Don't click on anything. Just go up there and put the cursor above trade. Move over to place a trade and click on stocks. It's going to bring us to this page. Order type. What we're doing is a sell short. We're selling the stock and we're selling it short, which means we don't have the stock. We don't own the stock. We just want to sell it, even though we don't own it. So we're doing that exact process I described. We're borrowing a stock. All right. So let's say we want to sell short 100 shares of AIG. It's the exact same as purchasing a stock. Now, price type, again, we want to go with limit. If you didn't see the video on buying a stock in E-Trade, you can watch that, or you can just follow along with me. The limit is simply telling the broker, telling E-Trade, that you don't want the worst price. If you want the worst price, go with market. It's easy. It'll be filled automatically. But you generally want to get the best price for whatever you're doing, for your money, because you have to have a margin account to actually short a stock. If you don't have this option right here, sell short, that means you need to contact E-Trade and say you want to be able to short stock. And they will say, okay, we need to upgrade your account to a margin account. Don't worry about the jargon. Just know that if you don't have this option, you got to call E-Trade and get that option. Okay? So you're going to do a limit price. And again, the ask and the bid represent what people want to buy it for and want to sell it for inversely, respectively. I'm sorry. Let me say that again. The bid is the price that people are wanting to buy AIG for. And the ask is the price that people are wanting to sell AIG for. Now, obviously, because you want to sell, you want this price, but you're not going to get it. The buyers don't want to buy it at that price. Instead, they want to buy it in somewhere that's more reasonable for them. Now, you see 100 here and 100 here. That means the number of people who are bidding on it, and it just happens to be exactly equal. So there's 100 people who say they want to sell AIG at 64 bucks, and 100 people who say they want to sell it at 62 bucks. Now, I'm going to tell you the easiest way to get any trade filled at a decent price is simply take the average of these two. And the easiest way to do that is just add them. So I've done this already. Well, it looks like it changed since I've done it. Okay. Oh no, it hasn't. Okay, so this is the ask price, 64.16, plus the bid price, 62.13, and then you divide it by 2, and you get the price that you should put in. Now, because we're dealing with dollars and we only have 10 pennies for 10 cents, um, we can't go in, we can't go, out to the third digit there. We got to round. So I'm going to round up and just say the limit price is 63.15, and you're going to want to choose good for the day, generally. You only have two options, good for the day or extended hours. Good for the day. The only difference is that the extended hours goes after the market closes. You could do either one. I just figure you're probably going to trade while the market's open, so go for good for the day. And here you have it. This is the entire setup. You just click on preview order, go through with the order, and um, your account will have a bit of money not taken from it, but held in some place. That's the margin. So the money you're holding aside is kind of like insurance for E-Trade in case the trade goes really wrong. Because when you short stock, you expose yourself to unlimited risk. It's very possible that you can go bankrupt on one trade. I have previously lost a lot of money shorting stock, so be very careful. But the idea here is what you're doing is you're borrowing AIG in this trade. You're borrowing 100 shares of AIG and you're selling them at 63 bucks each. So you're immediately going to gain $6,300 in your account, and you're going to wait for AIG to drop, and then you're going to buy it back. Let's say you buy it back at 60 per share. You buy 100 back, 60 per share. So how much money did you make? Well, you made 300 bucks on that trade, and you didn't even have AIG to sell. So this is great if you know that a stock, or if you suspect that a stock is going to fall. Most people are just looking for buying opportunities, but if you're watching this video, you're pretty smart because you're looking at both directions. However, I'll say it again, when you short a stock, there's unlimited risk. Yahoo, for example, after you short it right here, Yahoo could have maybe invented a new form of the internet or cured cancer, or something weird like that, shooting Yahoo stock up to like $1 million a share, and then you would be bankrupt unless you're already very wealthy, you know? So that's the idea here. Again, this is what it should look like. Sell short, whatever your quantity is, whatever the ticker is, limit trade, always limit. The price, which is halfway between the ask and the bid, and then good for the day. That's it. Preview order, you're done.